Okay, so for now, we will first answer yung prelim natin last week. Okay? So, basically, same structures were given to each student pero naka-specify siya kung anong stability, no? It may be external, internal, or overall stability yung pinapahanap sa atin. Okay? And then for the problem solving part, actually this is for the other block 8. So we will view mamaya yung para dun sa inyong class, no? So, we will answer that. So, let's start muna dun sa first part natin, which is identification stability natin. So, we have here 5 sets of um, structures. So, let's classify them individually. So, una muna itong number 1, we have a frame with a fixed both ang kanyang support. So, we have um, 3 reactions agad, no? Each support. So yung external reaction natin sa kanya will be, your external stability niya will be 6 minus 3 equals to 3. So statically indeterminate siya third degree. Okay? Para dun sa may question na external stability. For internal stability, we have 3 internal hinges. And then, ang formula na natin is, again, yung n minus 1. So, yung n natin is yung number ng connected members. So, for this case, we have 2 members connected at each joint. So, okay lang yan na i-multiply na lang natin ng 3 for the 3 hinges. Okay? So, we have 2 minus 1 times 3 or 3 or negative 3. So, therefore, siya ay unstable. Okay? For internal stability. And for our total stability or overall stability, that will be yung ating external then internal. So we have 3 minus 3 is equals to 0. Therefore, tayo ay determinate o statically stable na structure. Okay? Stable. Therefore, determinate yung ating structure. Okay? Next. We have here a frame na meron siyang hinges, pin reactions or pin supports, no? So we have 1, 2, 1, 2. So for external reaction, we have 4 minus 3 is equals to 1. So statically indeterminate siya ng first degree for external stability. Then we have yung ating internal reaction. So we have 2 hinges. So n minus 1 times 2. So 2 minus 1 times 2. We have 2 or negative 2. So siya ay internally unstable. Then yung overall natin, I think mali yung naka-highlight ng sagot ko, no? So E plus I, so that is equals to 1 minus 2 equals to negative 1. Therefore, unstable yung ating structure. So this should be unstable. Okay? Next, number 3. So we have here a continuous beam. So we have 1 pin, then 3 rollers. So, ayan. Yung external stability natin for that. So dito na lang. That is how much? 2 plus 3. So 5 minus 3. So 2. So statically indeterminate tayo ng second degree for external. For internal, we have 3 hinges. So n minus 1 times 3. So 2 minus 1 times 3 equals to 3 or negative 3. So unstable tayo for internal stability. Then for our total or overall, that will be 2 minus 3, negative 1. Therefore, tayo ay unstable. Okay? Yeah, letter C yung sagot natin dito. Number 4, we have a simply supported or hanging beam, no? So we have 2 reactions, 1 reaction. So external natin will be equals to 3 minus 3 is equals to 0. Therefore, stable tayo for external stability. For internal, we have 1 hinge, so n minus 1, so 2 minus 1, or 1. Sorry. 1 or negative 1, therefore unstable tayo, or negative 1 yung nasa choices. And then for our total, that will be 0 minus 1, so negative 1, therefore unstable din tayo for number 4. Okay? Then last, we have this one. So, fixed support ulit. So, ayan. So, external stability natin will be equals to 6 minus 3 to 3. So, statically indeterminate, so third degree. Internal stability will be n minus 1. So, that is 2 minus 1 or um, 1 or negative 1. So unstable tayo for internal stability. And then for our total, we have 3 minus 1 or 2. So ibig sabihin, statically indeterminate sa second degree tayo. Okay? Okay, question po for part 1 for clarification. Okay, so naka-shuffle lang yun. Ano, kung depende kung napatapat sa inyo is yung overall, yung internal, or yung external. Pero all answers are already presented. Okay? Next is yung ating problem, no? So let me copy lang yung problem sa inyo. Okay? So yung problem sa atin is ito. Let me share nga lang. Where is it? Yung first one is ito, yung trapezoidal yung load, no? So i-copy ko lang, no? Ito, trapezoidal yung load. So yung support nun pwedeng i-assume as ano, no? Pin and roller nakalagay naman. So pin at A and then roller at B. And we have an intensity of 15 and 1.5 pala and then 0.5. Yung pinapahanap is at point D. Okay? So A, B, and then distances natin is 6 meters and 3 meters. 1.5 kilometer per meter and then 0.5. Okay, so balik lang tayo dun sa slide natin. Okay, so ito yon yung problem na yon. So ang una, as I've already told you last session, no? Para to simplify yung trapezoidal loading natin, we can subdivide it into two loadings, no? Pwede natin siyang gawing triangular tsaka rectangular loadings natin. Okay? So magiging loadings lang natin, itong portion na to, yung rectangular part will be 0.5 and then yung ating remaining will be 1.5 minus 0.5 or 1.0 na lang siya. Okay? So let's create yung ating free body diagram. Okay, so ito yung beam natin. And yung reaction natin, we have dito, AY, kasi pin tayo, AX, and then yung ating BY. Okay? And then yung ECL natin, calculate na din natin. So ECL, so meron tayo nung rectangular muna. So yung rectangular natin is 0.5 over ang length natin is 9 meters. Okay, so 4.5 kilonewton ibig sabihin yun. Then we have yung ating yung triangular, so 1/2 ng 1.0 times 9 meters din. So we have also 4.5 kilonewtons. Okay? So si rectangular nag-act sa center. Okay, so somewhere dito. Ayan si 4.5 na rectangular. And then si triangular load is somewhere dito. Sa at 1/3, no? Okay? So apply lang natin o ano lang natin yung mga distances natin. So yung distance nito will be x over 3 or 9 over 3 natin or equals to 3.0 meters. And then yung distance nito is yung half nung rectangle natin. So 9 meters yung total length. So 4.5 since meron tayong 3 meters dito. So ibig sabihin ito ay 1.5. So not to scale tayo, no? So, and then yung remaining natin dito will be 4.5. Okay? So yan. So na-identify na natin yung mga distances and then yung ating mga um, ating mga applied loads. We can now calculate for our support reactions. So summation of moment at A is equals to 0, taking clockwise as positive, clockwise. So we have yung 4.5, travel siya ng 4.5, and we have yung 4.5 na isa, mag-travel siya ng 4.5 plus 1.5. Okay? And si BY, magta-travel siya ng total length natin, 9 meters. Equals to 0. Okay? Combine natin yung two terms. We have 4.5 times 4.5 plus 1.5. We have 47.25. So, transpose natin si BY. So, divide natin both side by 9. So, BY natin equals to 5.25 kilonewton. Okay? So, ito yung initial value natin. Next is yung ating A. So, summation of moment. Punta kay A is equals to 0, taking counterclockwise as positive. So we have yung 4.5 ng triangular, ang distance niya ay 3. Okay? And then we have yung 4.5 ng rectangular, we have 4.5 ang distance niya. Then minus yung AY natin will travel the total length of 9 is equals to 0. Yung AX natin is along dun sa point natin dito. So wala siyang ita-travel na distance. So 4.5 times 3 plus 4.5 times 4.5. That is 33.75 equals 9AY. So divide natin both side by 9. So AY natin will be equals to 3.75 kilonewton. Okay? So this is our AY. And kanina, lagay ko na lang din dito yung summation of Fx natin. Dito ko na lang lagay. Summation of Fx natin is equals to 0, taking to the right as positive. So si AX lang naman yun. So equals to 0. Okay? So to check if our answer is correct, summation of Fy is equals to 0. So lahat ng vertical, so AY minus 4.5 minus 4.5 plus yung BY natin is equals to 0. So we have 3.75 minus 4.5 minus 4.5 plus 5.25 is equals to 0. So 3.75 minus 4.5 minus 4.5 plus 5.25. Indeed, our answer will be equal to 0. Therefore, ito na yung answer natin for support reaction. So, meron na agad tayong ilang points, no? 5 points each yan. Okay? Next, our question is to get yung internal reaction natin at point D. Okay? So, sabihin, magkaka tayo ng section dito and then yung left segment tsaka yung right segment yung i-consider natin. Okay? So, let's start with the left segment first. Okay? Pero before that, kailangan natin i-identify kung ano yung value ng ating load dun sa position na yun, no? So, ito, i-extend ko lang. Okay? So, kailangan natin is, since meron tayong triangle dito sa taas niya, pwede tayong mag-ratio and proportion, no? So, ito yung triangle na yon. Ang height nito is 1.0. Again, ito yung kalahati na, divided portion na. And then, ito yung katapat nung D natin, no? Okay? So, ito alam natin to na ang distance nitong point na to dito is 3 meters. And then yung total distance natin ay 9. So, hanapin natin si Y. Okay? So ibig sabihin ito ay 6.0, no? So, Y over 6 is equals to sa total natin na 1.0 over 9. So, cross multiply lang natin yung 6 doon. This will be 6 times 1 over 9 That is 2/3, no? Ibig sabihin 2/3 kilonewton per meter yung kanyang value. Okay? So, dito, ibig sabihin, ito yun, no? Ito ay 2/3 kilonewton per meter. Then ito is retain na 0.5 kilonewton per meter. Okay? Yan yung ibig sabihin nun. So ngayon, pwede na tayo mag-cut ng section. So, identify natin muna is yung sa left segment natin. Okay, so left segment natin. So we have here yung beam natin. Okay, so assuming ito na yung cut section natin. Okay. Then we have identified a value ng AY dito. AY natin is 3.75. And then meron tayong trapezoidal load, no? Na ang value is dito is 0.5. Tapos ito is 2/3. Yung na-calculate lang natin recently. Tapos ito ay 0.5. Okay? O yung total niya, kunin ko lang yung total. 2/3 plus 0.5. That is 7/6. So yung point na to, yung total niya is 7/6 kilonewton per meter. Okay? Okay, ano pa yung mga naka-apply natin na support na iba? Oh, wala na, no? Okay. So, alam natin to, ang distance ito ay 6 meters. So, ang goal natin is to get yung bagong ECL natin based dun sa cut section natin. Okay? So, yung ECL natin will be yung sa rectangular, that will be 0.5 times yung 6 or 3.0 kilonewton per meter. And then para doon sa triangular, we have 1/2, then 2/3 times 6. That is 6/3, so 3. Then, no? Kilonewton per meter. Kilonewton na lang pala. Sorry. This is not per meter. Si ECL yan, no? So, 0.5, 2/3 times 6. 2 lang pala to. Sorry. 2.0. Okay? So, saan niya nag-a-act? So, si 3 kilonewtons nag-a-act to sa center niya. So, this will be our 3 kilonewtons. Yung 3 kilonewtons natin. And then, si 2 kilonewtons nag-a-act siya at 2/3, no? Yung triangle. So, ito yung 2.0 natin. So, identify lang natin yung distance niya from the cut section. So, that will be 6/3, no? Kasi 1/3 yung distance niya. So, 6/3 is 2 meters to. And then, ito yung distance nito is yung half ng 6, which is 3.0. Okay? Now, we can calculate yung ating internal forces. So, internal forces natin is meron tayong normal force away from the body. Then, yung shear force natin will tend to rotate yung ng clockwise. And then yung ating moment will tend to lift yung ating beam, no? Napaganyan. So, dapat ganyan yung moment natin. Okay? So, summation, fx muna tayo is equals to 0, taking to the right as positive. Since walang applied other than n na value, so n is equals to 0 na agad. So, this is our first one. Then summation of forces y is equals to 0, taking upward as positive. So we have yung 3.75 minus yung 3.0 minus 2.0 minus v is equals to 0. So kunin lang natin si v, transpose natin. So 3.75 minus 3 minus 2. So that is also a negative value. So negative 1.25 kilonewton. So ibig sabihin, pag negative yung sign, mali yung assumption natin. So, dapat 1.25 kilonewton upward siya. Okay? Dahil dito. Okay? Then, moment tayo. Summation of moment. Assume ko to as letter S na lang. S is equals to 0, taking counterclockwise as positive. So we have yung 3.75 will produce a clockwise, so negative siya, times 6 plus 3 times 3, yung ating sa rectangular, plus yung sa triangular natin, times 2. And then dito, ang magro-rotate lang is yung M na value, no? Plus M equals to 0. So we have negative 3.75 times 6 plus 3 times 3 plus 2 times 2. We have a negative value. So transpose natin, magiging value niya is 9.5 kilonewton meter. So this will be our answer for moment. Okay? So, ayan. So ito yung ating left segment. Now to check yung values kung tama or the same with uh, the calculated values, ang kailangan natin gawin is to get yung right segment also, no? So yung right segment natin will compose of a ano, trapezoidal load din natin and then yung reaction natin na By. So calculate natin 'yon. So yung beam segment natin. Then we have a trapezoidal load. Exaggerated na siya, no? Okay, and then ito yung cut na section natin sa left side. Okay, and then meron tayong um, dito, value. Okay, tingnan natin yung mga values. Yung calculated natin for By, so that is 5.5 ano yan? 25 ba yan? Yes, 5.25. Okay, so 5.25. Then we have dito, yung values nito is 0.52 and then ito is 1.0. Okay, so ito is 3 meters yung distance. So pwedeng calculate natin yung kanyang ACL muna, no? So we have yung rectangular. So we have 0.5 times 3 equals sa 1.5 kilonewtons. Then for our triangular, we have 1/2 ng um, 1.0 times 3. Okay? So 1.5 kilonewtons. Same ba? Yes, the same. Okay, pero yung distances niya, yung sa rectangular is dito sa half niya naka-apply. And then yung sa triangular is dito naka-apply sa 2/3 niya, no? So not to scale to, in-exaggerate ko lang yung line to indicate na yun yung distances natin. Okay? So lagay natin yung mga distances. So yung sa triangular, magiging siyang 2/3 ng 3. Okay? So that is 2.0. Then yung sa ating rectangular is 1.5 kasi half yan. Okay? Internal forces natin, we have a normal force going to the left kasi tensile tayo. And then a shear na kailangan mag-rotate ng clockwise. So upward tayo. And then kailangan i-lift natin pataas yung ating beam. So yun yung moment natin. Okay? Then we can now get yung ating internal reactions. So we have summation of Fx equals to 0, taking to the right as positive. Since there's other force than N, so yan yung value natin. And then we have summation of Fy is equals to 0, taking upward as positive. So we have yung V minus 1.5 minus 1.5 plus 5.25 is equals to 0. So negative 1.5, negative 1.5 plus 5.25. That is V is equals to 2.25 kilonewton, which is upward yung direction niya. Okay, let's check. Okay, calculated natin is 1.25. So let's check ulit. Baka may mali akong nalagay na value. So 1/2 okay, 5.25 Dito is 3.75 minus 3 minus 2. That is 1.25. Mhm. Double check natin yung mga forces natin, no? Baka may mali akong na-compute. So we have 2/3 ng 6 times 0.5. Okay? So 0.5 times 6, that is 3. So correct naman. Yung shear natin is 3.75 minus 3 minus 2. Then V natin is correct. Okay, dito check natin. So 0.5 times 3 is 1.5. 0.5 ng 3. Okay, so saan ang mali natin? B, 5.25. Okay. Ayan, so alam ko ng mali ko. So ito should not be 0.5, no? Kasi ito ay yung trapezoidal na may cut natin dito. Okay, so ito yung dapat sum nito, 0.5 tsaka 2/3 dapat. Okay? So this should be 0.5 plus yung 2/3 natin. So 0.5 plus 2/3, that is 7/6. Okay? So yung sa rectangular natin yung mali, no? So dapat ito ay 7/6. So this should not be 1.5. So 7/6 times 3, that is 7/2 or 3.5 kilonewton. Okay? So yung dito should be 3.5. Okay? So baguhin natin dito. Oh, this should be 3.5. Okay? So let's check. 3.5 minus 1.5 plus 5.25. Yeah, sobra naman. Okay? So let's double check again. Um, so 1.5 yung total nito. So dapat hindi na to. Dapat hindi na yung 1.0. So this should be 1.0 minus 1.5 minus 7/6. Okay? So 1.5 minus 7/6, that is 1/3. Okay, so ito should be 1/3. Okay, so dapat yung load niya is dapat 0.5 lang. Okay, so ito should be 0.5 also. Ay, so 0.5 kilonewton, and therefore ito will also change into 0.5. Okay, let's check for the end time. 0.5 plus 5.25, we have 1.25, which is, yeah, correct na. Okay, so 1.25. Okay. May question tayo? Okay, so ayan. So ito yung value natin. So same na to nung previous, no? Na value. So last is yung moment natin, no? Summation of moment, punta kay S equals to 0. So ito si S. So taking clockwise as positive. So si M natin dun sa section is M plus yung 3.5 times 1.5 plus 0.5 times 2.0. And then si 5.25 will be counterclockwise. Okay? Equals sa 0. So yung moment natin will be 3.5 times 1.5 plus 0.5 times 2 minus 5.25 times 3. That is minus 9.5. So 9 transpose natin. So 9.5 kilonewton meter. Okay? And dito nakalagay 9.5 din siya. So that is correct na. Okay? So this is our solution for number 1. Question for number 1.
Wala po.
Okay. So next, proceeding with number 2. Okay. So pakita natin ulit yung ating problem number 2. So ito yung problem number 2 ng exam. Okay. So let me copy lang. Okay. So we have 15. Okay. Assume na yan, meron tayong hinge saka roller, no? So 20 hinge, then roller, we have 20 kilonewton per meter. And at point B yung tinatanong natin. Okay, so let me share lang ulit. Okay, so yan yung ating reaction. So all we need to do is to get first yung support reaction natin, and we can do that when we get our free body diagram muna, no? So our free body diagram of the beam will be this one. Okay, and then support reactions natin for hinge will be this one. So AY and AX, and for C will be CY. Okay, and then ECL natin for the triangular load. So, pwede natin hatiin yung triangular load, no? Pwede natin gawing dalawa, no? So, pwedeng ito yung isa, then pwede yung ito yung isa, then ito yung kabila. Okay? So, para dun sa nasa left side, that is 1/2. So, same naman siya ng height, pero iba ng length, no? So, this will be 20 times 5 times 0.5. That is 50 kilonewtons. Then we have yung sa left side, we have 1/2 20 times 10. So we have 200 divided 2 or 100 kilonewtons. So yung distances niya, kung ito yung point B natin, okay? So yung una will be somewhere dito, which is 50 kilonewton. And then yung isa will be somewhere here, which is 100 kilonewton. Okay? Identify natin yung distances. So ito will be 2/3 ng 5. Lagay ko na lang x1, and then ito to as x2, no? So x1 natin is 2/3 ng 5. That is 10/3. Wag tayo mag ano, no? Try natin wag mag-round off or i-convert to decimal para ano natin, para kumpleto yung ating answer later on. So this is 20/3. Okay? So yung remaining natin is just ito, x3 natin will be yung total natin na 15 minus 10/3 minus 20/3. That is equals to 10/3 minus 20/3. So 5, no? 5 meters. Okay, so now we got that. Pwede na tayo calculate ng support reaction. So summation of moment at A is equals to 0, taking clockwise as positive. So we have yung 50, magta-travel siya ng x1. And then we have 100, magta-travel siya ng x1 plus x3. And then we have si CY will be yung total natin na 15 equals to 0. Okay? So we have 50 times 10/3 plus 100, 10/3 plus 5. Then convert natin, transpose natin si CY sa kabila. We have Upon calculating, we have 50 times 10 over 3. Then plus 100, 10 over 3 plus 5. Then divide natin by 15, lahat. So we have 200 over 3 or 66.67 kilo Newton. Okay? Next, summation of moment papunta kay C equals to 0. Taking counterclockwise as positive. So we have yung 100 natin will travel x2 plus yung 50 natin will travel ng x2 plus x3. And then minus yung ay natin will travel 15 equals to 0. Si ax is the same point, no? Kaya wala tayong perpendicular distance sa kanya. Okay, so 100 times 20 over 3 plus 50, 20 over 3 plus 5, transpose natin 15 ay. Then calculate mo sa calcu. 20 over 3 plus 50, 20 over 3 plus 5. Okay, divide ng 15. That is 250 over 3 or equal sa 83.33 kilo Newton. Okay, then yung ay natin. For summation of fx, dito ko na lang lalagay. Taking to the right as positive. So, ax lang naman yung value. That is equal to 0. Okay na yan. Okay? Then summation of fy tayo for checking. Summation of fy is equals to 0, taking upward as positive. We have ay minus 50 minus 100 plus cy is equals to 0. So, ay natin is 250 over 3 minus 50 minus 100 plus 200 over 3 is equals to 0. So, 250 over 3 minus 50 minus 100 plus 200 over 3. That is exactly equal to 0. Okay? Therefore, yung support reactions natin are correct. Okay? Now is pagkuha ng ating internal reaction for B. Pero since exactly doon siya sa gitna ng triangle natin, pwede doon sa left side natin, ito lang yung triangle na naka-act sa atin. And then sa right segment natin, ito lang yung triangle na naka-act sa atin. Okay? So kahit wala na tayong ratio and proportion sa kanya. So we have here yung left segment. Okay? So left segment natin. So we have yung beam natin. Okay, then we have our cut section. Then our loading is ito. Okay. Then meron tayong na-calculate na value for AY. Na-calculate natin is 200 to 50 over 3. In distance natin nun is 5 meters. 5 meters. So need lang natin hanapin si ECL, no? So ECL is equals to yung triangular natin. So 1/2 times 20 times 5. So ano yung calculated natin kanina dyan? 50 kilonewtons. Okay? So ito yon. So 50 kilonewton na ang distance niya is 5 over 3 o 5/3, no? Then internal reactions natin, si normal force. Then si shear dapat magka-clockwise kaya downward tayo, and then dapat pataas yung lift ng moment natin. Okay? So summation of moment tayo. Fx muna. Fx equals to 0. Since wala namang ibang value kundi n, yan na yung value ng normal force natin. Fy is equals to 0. Taking upward as positive. So we have 250 over 3 minus 50 minus v is equals to 0. So yung v natin will be 250 over 3 minus 50. That is 100/3 or 33.33 kilonewtons. Okay? Then we have yung moment. Summation of moment at point S na lang tayo. Okay? Is equals to 0. Taking clockwise as counterclockwise as positive. So minus 250/3 times 5 plus 50 times rotation natin na 5/3. Tapos plus m is equals to 0. So, on calculating, negative 250/3 times 5 plus 50, 5/3. That is a negative value. So, transpose natin sa kabila. We will have 1,000/3 or 333.33 kilonewton meter. Okay? So, this is our initial value for our internal reactions. So, ituloy na natin dito yung right segment, no? So, check natin kung same value. Okay, pero doon sa solution nyo sa exam, okay lang na isang segment lang yung kinonsider, no? This is for demonstration purposes and just for checking kung tama yung values na na-calculate natin. Okay, and this will be our cut. So, yung ating reaction o yung ating, yan. So, meron tayo ditong CY na ang calculated value natin is 200/3. So 200/3. Then we have a distance of 10 meters. So yung ECL natin will be 1/2 times 20 times 10. So that is 100 kilonewton. Okay? Which is applied somewhere dito. So 100 kilonewton and then yung distance niya is 10/3 o 1/3 ng length. Okay? So this will be yung normal force natin. Shearing natin dapat clockwise kaya upward and then dapat ipupush natin pataas yung beam kaya yung moment natin is clockwise. Okay? So summation of forces, X is equals to 0. So normal force, walang ibang forces. So 0, okay na yan. Summation of Fy is equals to 0, taking upward as positive. So you have V minus 100 plus 200/3 is equals to 0. So V is equals to 100 plus 200/3. That is negative 100/3. Transpose natin. 100t or equals sa 33.33 kilonewton, which is the same as the left segment value. Okay? Then last is ang ating summation of moment as S. Ito yung S natin. Taking clockwise as positive. So we have yung M is clockwise. Plus 100 times 10/3 minus 200/3 times 10 is equals to 0. So simplify 10/3 minus 200/3 times 10. That is M or negative 1,000. So transpose magiging positive over 3 or equals sa 333.33 kilonewton meter, which is the same value calculated para dun sa ating left segment. Okay? So this will be our answers supposedly dun sa ating examination for prelim. Okay? Question before we go dun sa ating lecture or clarification, violent reaction. Okay, so a copy of this one will be provided to you sa NEO LMS, no, for future reference or for review if you want to check your work. Okay.